Hello and welcome to Connect. I'm your host, Randy Shabilo. Today's show will have Mayor Charlie Clark giving us an update with his mid-year report. And as always, we'd like to connect with you.
Tweet us at Shaw TV Saskatoon. Find us on Facebook or email shawtvconnect@shaw.ca. You can also watch previous interviews on Shaw TV's YouTube channel at youtube.com/Shaw TV Saskatoon.
Saskatoon's civic election was held last October, and our new mayor, Charlie Clark, has taken the helm, and with his leadership, Saskatoon is starting to emerge as that new cutting-edge city. And Mayor Clark, thank you for making time for us today. Come on the show.
Thank you, Randy. I'm happy to be here, absolutely.
I want to get a little bit of a sense. We kind of wanted a snapshot of a mid-year report, if you will. We've had you and the new council sworn in, and it's end of June, summer's coming. Talk a little bit about how that transition went from a councillor to the role of mayor and how you're enjoying that.
Well, it's been a very busy 6 months. We're getting close to 8 months in the role, and I've actually really been enjoying it. We have some economic challenges and issues that we're facing as a community, but that certainly has not affected the spirit of optimism and confidence that I hear when I go around and meet with people. A council has come together and I think is working together very well. We've developed a new leadership model for council where each councillor is taking on a particular portfolio area. And the reason for that is that we know we have a number of very important issues that all cities are facing, technology, economic changes to the environment and climate change, making sure that we're adapting and delivering our core services as effectively as possible, transportation, transit, all those functions. We're in a very large regional planning process right now, and so we're also wanting to get the downtown and the city center area thriving and redirect some growth into the downtown to make sure that happens. And so we have councillors now helping to be strategic and engage in the process of tackling those issues. So the first 8 months has been a lot of kind of building up the capacity and the clarity on this new model and how to identify within the community what are the key areas we need to work on, and then with councillors how to move forward on these issues. And it's been exciting, it's been dynamic, and we've been definitely kept on our toes down at City Hall.
You look like you're having fun when I watch you at work and in council chambers, and there is a different air about the city, and there was a song written by someone not that long ago that said the boom is gone, but we're still going strong. Mm-hmm. With what you're seeing both on the provincial level, meeting with the other mayors of Saskatchewan and across Canada, how do you think we're positioned economically going forward?
Well, we're now very much competing in a global environment, and the global economy is moving faster than ever, and there's the mobility of people and mobility of capital and mobility of goods more than ever. And so I think that's what makes Saskatoon, we need to really be looking carefully and as strategically as we can at how do we position ourselves in that global market. The good thing is we have food, fuel, and fertilizer. They're the kind of the core things that the world will continue to need into the future. What we want to do is identify ways we can do more of the value-added work so that we don't just draw raw resources out of this province and then ship them off and then buy goods back that are where the value's been added and they're manufactured and then we pay a premium. And so I think that, and many people who I've come, and I've been at different economic conferences, I was just at a health conference recently talking about the future of healthcare, and over and I hear people both from the community and people from outside the community, when they come here, they say, one of our greatest strengths within this context of our resource-based economy is our people. And if we can continue to create a city where people can be agile and entrepreneurial and bring their ideas forward, we've got the potential to have the best ideas in the world. We just need to then turn them into economic opportunities. And and find those ways to add value to the things that we produce, and build a strong and resilient economy here that's not totally tied to the ups and downs of the resource cycle as well. We're seeing growth in our tech sector in Saskatoon because of our people. I mean, I think that's the reason that we hear that. And we're seeing a lot of newcomers come here and see entrepreneurial opportunity in building parts of our economy. We're seeing a growing Indigenous community, the First Nation, different First Nations that are in the province, both near and far to Saskatoon, who have land holdings in this area, are building companies and building jobs and building investment in this area. And there's a huge opportunity there to continue to create a good foundation of economic development. So we have to keep adaptive and resilient and pay attention to where the economy is going, and build on our strengths in order to make sure we're succeeding.
That has to be something that you're proud of as a mayor of one of the largest city in Saskatchewan. You've always said that it's the economic engine of the province. But we have the Canadian Country Music Association Awards coming up this fall, and with USA Today, and the fourth most popular city, you've got to feel good about that.
Absolutely. I mean, I myself have lived in a number of cities before having a chance to live in Saskatoon, and we have something special here within our community, and that's what you hear that when the CCMAs or USA Today or others are looking at what's going on in parts of North America, and they come to Saskatoon. There's a sense of that we're a city that has something happening. There's a dynamism to our city. There's a dynamism to different parts of our community. We have hospitality and a strong sense of community that I think draws people in. There's an interesting heritage and history here, and I think a growing and strengthening relations between the Indigenous and the non-Indigenous community, and becoming more global as a city. And I think that's, we have a great growing restaurant scene, and we have more and more small businesses offering, with great offerings, great hotels. Obviously the River Valley, which is a draw and is being used in more and more different ways. And so it's wonderful to be part of that, and I see more and more people have more and more ideas about how to make our city better, and I think my job as mayor is how to help create the space for those ideas to come forward so that we can keep growing and making it as a great place to live for everybody.
Touch on that. You mentioned the different portfolios that the councillors are not really holding, but you're taking on the portfolio of the Truth and Reconciliation and Diversity file, if you will, along with the opportunities that are awaiting, I say, for the Indigenous peoples that are, the investment dollars are coming and the jobs are coming. What do you see in the next 3 to 5 years in terms of that growth between reconciliation and that morphing into more investment and more Aboriginal jobs and things working out better than they are now?
Well, we know that close to 15% of the city's population is First Nations and Métis, and it's growing. And so what I think we want to make sure that we're doing as a community is making sure that everybody has an opportunity to participate and succeed here and feel supported. Just like my kids feel supported to succeed, any child growing up in this community particularly, I think in the Indigenous community feels supported to succeed because they haven't always had that experience of living in cities in our province. And as we do that, and we see more and more kids who can be artists, can be plumbers, can be electricians, can be teachers, can be doctors, lawyers, surgeons, all those different parts. And as people live here and live as all residents live in this community and see the population reflected throughout the employment and the leadership of our community, then that's to me what looks like a success and building more reconciliation. And so, and I think the tremendous leadership that's being shown. I mean, I met with Mistawasis First Nation not long ago. That one First Nation has created 6 companies in the last 3 years where they're working and bridging in some cases with non-Aboriginal companies, creating an ownership position where then there's job and job training and job opportunities in delivering everything from concrete to containers to the word's escaping me, but in engineering services and other things. And I think that's a great way of helping to build that transition and see benefits back to the communities. And that's just one of, we have a long relationship with Muskeg Lake First Nation here that has, built the first urban reserve in the community. Thunderchild First Nation is about to open an urban reserve at 33rd and Idlewild. And so there's more and more examples of that happening. Plus, we have young, talent. Heather Abbey with Shop Indig, won the Brett Wilson pitch party, not long ago, with the story of her entrepreneurial approach and the success that she's been able to make, going from a single mother who was unemployed to now being a successful entrepreneur, and many other examples like that of young people finding success. So as I think we support and see more and more examples of that, then that provides hope to the next generation, and it becomes normal to have First Nations and Métis people, feeling and being reflected throughout the life of the city.
And part of that economic driver, I guess, is what you're talking about, Saskatoon compared to other cities in the province. But it's good to see that we're on the forefront and other cities are looking to us for, that guidance and as a good example. So kudos to you and council for keeping that.
Well, and I give credit to so many of the leaders. We work closely with Tribal Chief Felix Thomas and his council, and Shirley Eisbister from Comfy and the Métis community, and there's a real willingness and a desire to work together in new ways. We're building the hydro. We're entering into at least an MOU on building a hydro project to generate more renewable energy in the community for future generations, working with the tribal council on the river. And these are the kinds of examples of concrete sort of steps that we can take in partnership to create a path to the future together as well.
I want to ask you about the water park feature in that hydro project.
Well, we're exploring that as well. Yeah.
We're going to take a quick break and be right back with Mayor Charlie Clark. Stay with us.